Hi, YouTube followers. I'm sorry I haven't been on in a long time. You know, life life gets crazy sometimes. I haven't posted any visions because I've almost felt like posting them would be depressing to people. That to tell people what was going to happen and to I would rather give hope. My hope that I want to give is that Jesus is coming back very soon. Very soon. And I think all of you know that the writing on the wall is obvious. The visions are the same. Earthquakes, tsunamis. It's interesting with the tsunamis, though. There's a part where there are people helping people from the sea. Like there's a colony in the sea. There's an undersea people. At least in my visions there are. That sounds so far-fetched, doesn't it? But it makes sense because half of the world is covered in water. You would think there would be something. And God talks about all the things He's created under the sea. I've seen under there. I've seen the visions. I've seen the beings. They're kind of like mermaids. Mermen, merwomen. Some of them are kind of ferocious. The animals are interesting. But they do help mankind. A lot of them. I think God's orders. Helping them out of the water. I know I look off and I look in the distance and I think, how are we going to survive all this? But the thing is that we are going to survive all of this. Jesus is going to come back. He's going to take his children home. And the people that haven't made up their mind yet, still, that will, which will be a lot of them, they'll still go up to him. They'll just have to live through some trauma. And we may have to live through some trauma. Growing birth pains. Birth pains can go on for a while. We all know how birth, if you've given birth, I've given birth 3 times. I know how birth pains are. With each child, my labor was cut in half. And this has happened before in the destruction part to Earth. So I'm hoping, I think that's why God said it will only last 7 years. Because the birth pains are, because the destruction will be great. But it needs to be great because we've done a lot to our Earth. And it needs to be refurbished, rebuilt, returned over. It's like turning soil over and letting the ground rest and getting new soil. So the crops can grow. You can't just keep depleting the same soil and expecting your crops to grow. They won't grow. They just can't grow. I don't know if if you've noticed that the dirt you buy at the store is missing something. I look at it and I'm like, what is this? It's just full of sticks, ground up sticks. It's like it's missing the soil, the actual dirt. I don't know. It's weird. There's so many things going on in this world right now. The earthquake in Turkey, Syria. The next one's going to be down further. I saw the old city of Jerusalem. It looked like the old town where you walk down and they show it on some videos. And people were walking down through it, and then all of a sudden the next scene in the vision was all of the buildings crumbling on top of the people and the people trying to dig out. And then a big one hitting the coast of from Washington, well, from Alaska, I guess, all the way to California. Just really had a huge wave coming at it and earthquake. So that's what I saw there. I saw New York obviously being destroyed several times. I also saw that the obelisk that the devil has, that he lives in, it's a big black obelisk. Big black obelisk. Looks like it comes up out of the earth from somewhere. But then I see a comet, and in front of the comet, actually, or behind the comet, is some very huge spaceships that are following, riding it, hiding within that, coming our way. And I do see something going on like a bomb, where I saw in earlier videos where I talked about a vision where New York's harbor ships were going out to war, and right now we're lined up for that. That, I can see Biden going, okay, send them out, and then them being blown up, and then because I saw very clearly a underwater bomb being sent off of a submarine at that time. And that was, I don't know, a year ago, I think, is when I put that online. And they have that, I guess. So when New York goes, the island that is got the volcano that was going off, what is it called? La Paz, or I can't think of the name. Had all the coconut trees on it. Anyway, it's off the east coast of our coast. And when that island goes, it bobs up and down. Half of it falls off, and then it's like it's being pulled down like that. And so the water's going and it pushing against and making huge waves over and over, coming back over the east coast of America. And so it's not one wave, it's not two waves, it's not 10 waves. It just bobs for a long time, and it's wave after wave after wave. And it and then there's a huge crevasse that breaks open in the ocean, and water is just pouring into both sides of the ocean as the ocean splits apart. It's really horrific and scary. But people are living through this, and people are living through it, and people are running and living and and being pulled out of the water and being put into these boats that can withstand almost anything. And they don't look like boats. They look like, I don't know, they look more like alligators or something. They look like big, I don't know, they just don't look like boats. They almost look like they have tails and bodies, but then they open up and people get in them. It's crazy. And then they can go over falls and they can go over anything. It's that's what comes from under the water in the ocean, is these kind of crafts that I saw. And those people are saved by people. So I have never talking about all of it, seeing it all, praying about it all, reading the Bible, trying to piece together, what is this from God? Is this biblical? Is this the devil? Is this, what? The things that are from Satan, which I know he can plant seeds too. His are not remembered in detail. I can't remember them because I have a short-term memory problem. But God's are clear. God's are clear. Also, I noticed in my vision, there's a clear vision where it's like clear. Like I close my eyes and I'm like, my eyes are open. And then there's a vision where it's kind of, I'm looking through veils or a veil at something. And sometimes I think I'm looking through a veil because God is protecting me from what's on the other side. But I don't take the ones with the veil. If I don't see it really clearly, I don't take it from God. I don't take it as something I need to write down or tell you about. But if any of you want to chat about it, I know I haven't in the past chatted much. I'm not techie. I'm not much of a online person for chatting, for texting, just doing all the electronic stuff. But if you want to talk about it, I'm open to talk now. I've gone through depression about the whole thing. I've gone through family and things thinking I'm crazy. You go through a lot when you see visions. Doesn't mean they're not true. Doesn't mean you don't have them. It's just people can't wrap their head around it. I understand that. I have a hard time wrapping my own head around it. People go, well, are you sure you're not crazy? Oh, I'm sure I'm a little crazy. Aren't we all? But I know we don't have long. And I have to tell you that God wants you to know we don't have long. And that you have to be right with Him. You know the virgins trimming their lamps and not having enough lamp oil, or the parable of the just went blank right now. We got to be ready. Got to be ready. How it says drunkards will not go to heaven. Well, I'm wondering if Jesus comes and people are all drunk and partying, maybe that night they partied hard. Is he taking them that night or he's not and they have to be left behind? I don't know. I'm really trying to figure that out because it's been on my mind that we have to have a clear head. Clear head. That our lamps have to be trimmed and we have to have extra oil and we have to be on the lookout. We have to have a clear head. So whatever needs to be done in your life, whether it's repenting of sin that you've done or someone's done against you you've not forgiven, or things that you have to do, or not accepting Jesus yet and saying that you have, and waiting till, I'll just wait till the last minute and just have a good old time now. You may not have a last minute, because when this happens, it happens. Bam! It happens. When I've seen him come, he has to come fast, because the devil is waiting to take his children that he takes up there, to steal part of them. He wants to sidetrack half of them. He wants the flow of them to go his way, into his ship, instead of them go on the river towards God's home. And Jesus is moving very fast with his children. Very fast. But they know how to move fast up there. So don't think you've got a whole lot of time. When you need to be ready, you need to be ready. When an earthquake hits, you need to be ready. When a flood hits, you need to be ready. When Jesus comes back, you need to be ready. I recently lost my dog, my best friend. I loved her so much. I lost her, and I feel a loss there. But I ask God not to leave her here without me. I hope that doesn't mean I'm leaving soon, but it could mean he's coming soon. But either way, I've gotten the feeling that it's going to happen soon. That the birth pains are coming very quickly now. Be prepared, loved ones. Prepare your families. If you think God's going to send somebody else to save them, he's not. He sent you. Love to all of you. Good luck.